Greetings. It is June the 17th, and our reading is from the 6th chapter of St. Luke, verses 12 through 19. Now, during those days, he went out to the mountain to pray, and he spent that night in prayer to God. And when day came, he called his disciples, chose 12 of them, who he also named apostles: Simon, who he named Peter, and his brother Andrew, and James, and John, and Philip, and Bartholomew, and Matthew, and Thomas, and James, son of Alphaeus, and Simon, who was called the Zealot, and Judas, son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. He came down with them and stood on a level place with a great crowd of his disciples and a great multitude of people from all Judea, Jerusalem, and the coast of Tyre and Sidon. They had come to hear him and to be healed of their diseases, and those who were troubled with unclean spirits were cured. And all in the crowd were trying to touch him, for power came out from him and healed all of them. So for Luke, this is the call of the disciples. Note that this happened after Jesus was known to the people in the region, after people understood a little bit about who Jesus was. Certainly, they understood that he had the power to heal. It is also interesting to note, if you kind of heard the piece there about who the disciples were, who Luke named them, right? And he mentions Judas Iscariot, and talks about him betraying him. This makes it clear that the writer of Luke was not writing things down as things were happening, but rather this was something. The Gospels and all the Gospels are written this way, that happened afterwards, and then they decided to sit down and write it down. So a lot of it was from memory, from things they had heard, from things they had seen, just so we understand. And it's also amazing to me that people heard about Jesus so quickly in his ministry, without the benefit, if you will, of social media. We're very used to that level of communication these days, whether we like it, whether we don't. It is a part of our reality. Right? But for Jesus, all of this came by word of mouth, by people talking to each other. Did you hear about? And that, my friends, is the power and the strength of Jesus' message. It couldn't be contained. When people heard of Jesus, they responded to Jesus. Now, I don't think, whether we have social media or not, that message of and the power and healing of Jesus can be contained today either. Even if we use social media with it, that powerful message can be the thing that sustains us, that surrounds us, if we encourage it and allow it in our own hearts. My dear friends, the people in Jesus' day were worn and unwilling subjects of the Roman Empire. That's who they were. They weren't living, if you will, a happy life. The message of Jesus for them was one of hope, was one of there could be something better. Granted, they were looking a little differently than where Jesus was going, but still that message of Jesus was one of hope. something was better. It is our same. Jesus is our hope. Jesus is our promise of something better. Join me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.